Happening first at 4, government shutdown deadline. We are counting down to the 11:59 cutoff time for lawmakers to come up with a spending bill for the government. Right now, both sides are on Capitol Hill preparing for a possible vote before the deadline. Thank you for joining us. I'm Simone D'Alba. The proposed deal lawmakers are discussing right now would cause $1 billion in budget cuts for D.C. That could cause major issues with school funding and policing almost immediately if it's approved. Rafael Sanchez Cruz has this story all week. And Rafa, I think everyone is just waiting for this vote here, which really could come down at any time. Any moment now, Simone. There are actually 2 votes in the Senate before this gets to President Donald Trump's desk. All eyes are on that first vote that requires a 60-vote threshold. That means 8 Republicans. Republicans need 8 Democrats, actually. But as we have told you all week, this bill also treats D.C. like a federal agency and would force it to revert back to its 2024 budget, forcing cuts that district leaders and residents say would be devastating.
I will vote to keep the government open.
It's these words from Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer that have some Washingtonians feeling betrayed.
I'm not shocked, I'm disappointed.
All week, D.C. officials and residents have been on Capitol Hill lobbying against the $1.1 billion cuts to city services included in the GOP spending bill.
They just on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning were finding out about this piece of legislation that deeply impacted D.C.
Councilmember Christina Henderson has taken to social media to explain that impact.
So if we're talking about cutting $1 billion of maybe roughly $5.8 billion left, we have to look to what we have yet to spend. And a lot of that is personnel.
Public education would take a huge blow by these cuts, according to city officials.
The potential of schools closing, teachers being let go, officers being let go, this is an immediate impact.
For example, Ward 4 council member Janice Lewis George says a group of charter schools would not get their quarterly payments, which means these schools would have to limit their services or close entirely.
Now, if those schools were to close, that means the public school system would have to absorb that large amount of students, which means trying to fit those students into classrooms, but class sizes would be impacted.
And so would DCPS's budget, a rippling effect. For 5-year-old Jose Delgadillo, it could mean losing his speech therapist at school.
His intelligibility has gone from 10% to 80% in the last year. That's the kind of job that we're worried is going to be cut.
Taking away of our budget that's already been appropriated is not fair, and especially when it's being done by outside people that aren't even part of our city.
So, Rafa, that D.C. father we just heard from, he brings up a good point. If these are local taxpayer funds and Congress has already authorized D.C. to use them, why can't the city simply spend them?
Yeah, Simone, it's a question we ask city officials. You know, it's because of home rule. Congress not only has the power to review the legislation passed by D.C. Council, but it also has the authority over the district's budget. You know, in short term, we basically have to do whatever Congress tells us to do.
It's the details, right? There's just so many details and so many layers to understanding all of this. Certainly appreciate you helping us do that tonight. Thank you.